From disbelief to despair, the reactions of guilty teens to unexpected life sentences provide a gripping insight into the impact of their actions and the weight of justice. As the judge pronounced the unexpected life sentences for the teenagers on trial, the courtroom fell silent. But the true reactions of the guilty teens were yet to be seen, as they were forced to confront the harsh reality of their actions and the severe consequences that followed. First up, a 17-year-old who planned to kill her family was given a 20-year prison term. Before doing anything, they ought to think about getting a mental assessment. The court ordered that the attorney I had paid to defend her be dropped, and now a court-appointed lawyer does. She gave her consent to a plea bargain. I have significant doubts about my daughter's comprehension of the plea agreement and her ability to sign with free and informed consent. I also doubted the intentions of her current lawyer. At the age of 17, Roxanne will skip her high school prom and graduation, as well as her friends and family. She is in dire need of ongoing psychiatric assistance. She gave this response: "I would like to apologize to my family for not being the daughter they wished I would be, and I promise, okay, I will get better. No matter where it happens, I will see Lucas and Angelica again. I'm sorry." Next, we have a squad member who was convicted of participating in 2 robberies and received a 20-year sentence. Though he is paralyzed, there was a surprise. I'm going to impose 20 years on each of the 2 counts, which in my opinion essentially translates to 12.5 years in prison and 7.5 years on extended supervision. What you have done is inexcusable in any community that values people. What you have done not only hurt Miss Davidson and Mr. Motley, it has hurt this community as a whole, the judge said. Therefore, Mr. Crank, if my calculations are accurate, you will be in your late 20s when the incarceration aspect of this case is over, and I think at that time you will be much less of a danger to the community than you are now. I adore you, my baby, his parents sobbed. The court as a whole was shocked to hear this. For taking part in a planned robbery that went awry during this next game in court, she received 20 years just for participating. I just want to say that I'm sorry it might have been wrong, because I didn't even know he was communicating, but my boyfriend and his friends get connected to do this. I didn't even know what was going on, because I was at the wrong location at the wrong time. I simply want to beg for mercy and another opportunity, so that I can leave and complete my education, and I will make my mother happy. Since I will be her first kid to graduate from high school, I just want to make my crap because of it." As her loved ones look on, the Cooks now prepare to hear the sentence. Don't you want to know how the court responded? The fact that Miss Cook did not have the firearm during this incident, which is how the victim was fortunate to live, speaks in your favor, as does the fact that this was an intentional act. You played a significant role in a planned ambush, and as a result, I'm going to find you guilty of all 3 counts and sentence you to 20 years in state prison. We are firstly concerned because this next teen merits a punishment so severe that no human being could act in the way he did during his court appearance. Our Honor, I would like to address the court on behalf of my client. Gentlemen, the court questioned Mr. Ray. What would you like to say? He provided this reply: "I just want to let you know that I love my family and will return home shortly." All you have to say is that, the judge said about it. I haven't in roughly 23 years ever refused to accept a sentence agreement between the parties because it's a bargain for those sentenced by the parties. But watching you sit there and smile, laugh, and shake your head like this wasn't a big deal was disappointing. That opportunity could have been used to demonstrate regret to the court for his actions, but it was not. I'm compelled to simply say I refuse to accept this sentence agreement. We will go to trial, and if you're found guilty of felony murder, you will spend the remainder of your life in prison, which effectively means you will die there. I feel compelled to do that. This was his response. When asked if he wanted to accept the sentence agreement, Mr. Valor responded, "Your Honor, before I answer the court's question, I would like to have a chance to discuss it with the victim's family." The judge does have the authority to reject the plea agreement. Okay, the prosecutor will handle this case now that it has been resolved by the court. The fact that he was grinning while receiving a sentence of 25 to 52 years in jail without parole is terrifying. After the discussion with the family attorney, she said that after a very lengthy discussion with the victim's mother, as well as his grandparents and some family members, they understand that obviously this is the defendant. He's brutal. He murdered their son by shooting him in the back of the head. he's shown no remorse. However, the Glee family does want to move on with this. They want to get some closure from this case, and they want to try and forgive this defendant in all of his actions for what he did, and they are asking as well as the people that you proceed with the sentence. Wright is given another chance to address the court, this time through his lawyers. Your Honor, my client asked me to apologize to the court. His smiling was in no way disrespectful to the family of the victim, to this court, to the victim, or the victim's family, the attorney said. My client, who is 17 years old, has some emotional issues and, to be honest, was scared. Some people show fear by grinning, but it didn't mean any offense. He does take the situation very seriously, and I believe he does feel bad. Another one here is a different one. Now consider a Notre Dame adolescent who received a lengthy prison sentence for robbery. The court will also impose a sentence on the charge of this kind of setting for achievement. The prosecutor will grant credit for time served in count 3, but it will be deducted from the non-mandatory 5-year term on the aggravated robbery. As a result, the total sentence for the 2 charges is 6 years. I will drive that Stone property motor vehicle, which will be an 18-month equipment lease. The following sentence is fairly harsh, but it was given to a girl who received multiple sentences on the same day. You will be sentenced to 48 to 120 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections, and you will also be told to pay $2,125 in extradition fees and $5,000 in restitution to crime victims. These payments will be made jointly and severally with the co-defendant. On count 2, you will be sentenced to live in the Nevada Department of Production with the chance of parole after 20 years have passed, as well as a subsequent sentence of 24 to 60 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections for daily weapon enhancement. The Nevada Department of Corrections will sentence you to $72 to $180 on count 3 if capital punishment is directed to run concurrently with count 1. For counts 2 and 4, you will receive sentences of 19 to 48 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections, which are to run concurrently with counts 3 and 4. For count 5, you will receive a sentence of 19 to 48 months in the same facility, which is to run concurrently with counts 4 and 2. The Nevada Department of Correction will send you to work between 19 and 40 hours per month on count 6, so that is how you are ranked. You will receive a sentence of 19 to 48 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections for your present count on count 7, which is to run concurrently with your sentence of 28 to 72 months for your subsequent count on count 8. Come on, count 9. You will be sentenced to 72 to 180 months in the Valley Department of Corrections because it's been ordered to run concurrently with count 7. You have been given a total aggregate sentence of life in the Nevada Department of Corrections, with the potential of rolling up to 22 years of good service, plus a consecutive 72 to 180 months for the daily weapon enhancement that is ordered to run concurrently on count 8. As the courtroom emptied and the guilty teens were led away, the gravity of their situation hung heavy in the air. Their lives forever altered by the consequences of their choices. Their reactions to the unexpected life sentences serve as a powerful reminder of the impact of our actions and the importance of taking responsibility for them. May this serve as a cautionary tale for all those who walk the path of poor decision-making and a reminder that justice will always prevail.